Right, we have some other issue going on here with the shading, but that's yeah, it's okay. We have done something really stupid here, so go back with this area and we are good so far. The shading issue that you have here, that's unfortunately it's just normal for this kind of detailing, so you can just do the best that you can, but it's difficult to be without error. But you can do something else. You can just select this here, this face. Oh, down here is going on something. Something is going down here, but just select the point, put it on top of the other. And maybe this is going to be one object, and you see we have here a face going down, going on here. So now we can just close it. Steal this face here, make a non-separation of it. And now we can just grab it out, make it a little bit bigger, rotate it in the right angle, so I can mask a little bit out this shading issue, because we are making now this type of border here. So I think we are good. Extrude it back. Alright, I need now both faces. Now we can just insert them like that, delete the inner faces so we can bridge the loops here. And are we in the right face orientation? Yes. And you can just grab them, or let me see how I can do this. We have down here maybe, or maybe here, we have some type of border. Just select them, go to medium point, extrude it, scale it. So we can make this border here. So maybe a little bit smaller. Alright, so in here we can make some sort of beveling. Then we can make some kind of rim here. And you have a good amount of detail and just mask the error out. Perfect, now we can just make this detail here like, yeah, we can make it until this point and then rip it off. Good, let's make that. So I'm going to steal it again. So just the face in here. Make a non-separation of it. And with that, go in the edit mode, select all, go a little bit out, rotate it, and just drag it out. But I think we're a little bit too big, so I'm just scale it down. And you're good. Alright, what else we can do? We can just drag it until this point. So we have these two elements in here. I'm going to add a loop cut, bevel them. Good. In here, we are going to insert the face, extrude it inside. We can take this here, extrude it with the exception of an axis. Maybe go to normal. So we need to exclude the y-axis. So we're going to make it a little bit bigger. This area will be this here. So that's good so far. So maybe we can just make it a little bit smaller. So like that. Right, that's good. So up here we can make another detail. Now we can steal this face here, make it a little bit smaller, so like that, and extrude it. But you see we are a little bit bent, so go a bit down. And after that we can just make it straight. So now we need another face here. Extrude it. Extrude it another time. This time, just going to make it bigger. Extrude it. And insert. And you see we are too big. So we can always go back in the edit mode, make it smaller on this side. Go a little bit in and just adjust it a little bit. Here we are good. Rotate it. Alright, now we need this detail here. Or maybe you can just go all the way through with your cable. Yeah, I think we are going all the way through with the cable. So place the cursor here, go in the edit, go in the object mode and add a curve. Bezier curve is good. Go in the edit mode of the Bezier curve. And let me see how we can do this. So we can scale it down first of all and put the first point here. Take the first point, scale it down, rotate it in the right direction. So it's in here, and now we can take the other two, rotate it, put it down, like that, extrude it down. So maybe to this point here. Here we are good. And on the Bezier curve, we can always go to, let me see, to this point here, this option object data properties. And in here, first of all, you can go up with the geometry, offset, extrude, like that. So we are flat. So we have to add some thickness in here with the bevel. So we have to make it nice round. Yeah, we have to be on 0 here. We have to be like that on the bevel. So you can make it as thick as you want to, but I'm just searching the right thickness for here. And we have to go a little bit up with our resolution. We are too low. So maybe to, yeah, 8 is good. And so we have our loose part here. If it's too long for you, just take this part here and delete vertices. Maybe that's better. Alright, so I'm going to just modify it a little bit more by drag them inside. I don't want it that big. And you're good. Perfect, the first pump station is done. So I'm going to open up the reference pick. And now we need just the other one, so it's kind of copy and paste it. So I'm go to select all the stuff here, and we're going to duplicate it. Make sure you're just mirror it. And in here we have just to modify a little bit the cable. So this cable is going to be a little bit straighter like that. And we have just to modify the area down here. I don't really know what's up. This thing here is a detail or just something texture or something we can just texture, but if you want to, you can. Let me see where it is. If you want to, you can make this in here. I think we are going to do that, so I'm going just to delete this again, and we are just first of all adding this detail here. I think it's nicer to do so. To place this detail in here, we are going in our edit mode here. You can just press cursor to select it to be in the middle of the object. And you see we have a little bit of a shading issue. Maybe we can just flatten them out. No, it's caused by this area here, but later on we can just resolve this problem. So we are going to add a circle. 64 is good. rotate it by 90 degrees and just scale it down in the size you want to. That's good. So now we have just to join them together. We can now just delete this face, and with the selection of this circle we can just extrude them, cancel the extrusion and scale them a little bit outward like that. So I'm placing here a holding edge, and now we can just take every two vertices and just put them back so we can reduce them. Alright, now we can close this area. Now we can just select some points. So I'm adding 2 points here and 2 here. And we are just closing this face by selecting some vertices and just fill them up. Alright, I think we are a little bit off. So we have just to take the whole thing here, right, like that, not this side behind, just the front, and press SX0. Yeah, we have the problem still, so let's try shade it out. And yeah, now it's good. Okay, perfect. Alright, select this loop cut and just insert it and close it behind, so we are just closed here. And now we can simply select this face, cursor to selected, go in edit mode, add UV sphere, 32 is enough, shade it, rotate it, and scale it. And you have this tiny detail. Perfect. Alright, now we can just take the whole thing here and we can just duplicate it, scale it by the y-axis, so SY01, and you're perfect in line. So now we can just take this here and make some variation, maybe so let me just switch to the original we are using so we can see how we can just place it maybe like this. You see down here we have some, in brackets, destroyed stuff, so we can do that too, but it's a little bit tricky. So let me see. I think we are going just to rotate them a little bit on the z-axis. Yeah, that's good. And down here. So to achieve this here, we have to first of all hide this here. I'm going in the local view, and now we have to do we have to separate this side from the rest of the object to achieve this kind of detail. So I'm going to select these faces here, and the back side, no, the back side not. So that's good, and I think I'm going to select the whole thing up here. So until up here. Alright, I'm going to select to separate by selection. Now I can hide this here for now. And we have just to close this. So to do that, we can first of all select the whole thing here, extrude them on the x-axis back. So we can just close this area, close this, and close down here. Alright, now, oh, let me see, we have an error here. Yeah, okay. So we have to go down here so I can just close them in the right way. Yes. So I'm going to unhide it. And now we can take this face. First of all, we have just to add some more loop cuts. Up here we don't need as much as detail maybe, but down here we need more. So it's just it's begin here, the bend. So let's take maybe this area, make this as active, rotate it slightly, not too much. So we have initial bend here. Then we can go here, rotate it a little bit more, go down, maybe on this point here. You can just rotate it more and more. And you have this opened area now. But I think up down here is too much. So I go a little back. And we can just take the whole thing and bend from here. Alright, that's good. So I'm going to hide this now. We have to close this area. So let me see, to close this. Yeah, we can just close everything here. So we only need this detail here. And you see we have up here this, yeah, we have, okay, we have to just close it in another way because we have this bend here. I'm going to select all the way down and do the same thing we have done earlier. So just extrude them all the way back. So let's take the back faces here. Just delete them for now. And we can just close now this part here. Yeah, that's good so far. And we have to close the part down here. So we are sitting good. Now we have to close the back side. So to achieve the same detail on both sides, you can do the same stuff for these sides, but you can just bevel this area here and delete the face in here, and now it can close it. Good. I think I'm going to just rotate them a little bit more on this area. So on that, like so. Yeah, that's better. All right. I think we are done. I think we are done with our text, with our modeling. Yeah, it's looking good so far. What you can do else down here, you have here some sort of standing, or I don't know, place where it's stand up, the whole thing. So to achieve that, you can simply steal this face here and just scale it in the right way. So we are here and we have to be here. Just drag them back. It hasn't to be perfect, it's just a concrete stand for the gas pump. So obviously we have just to go with the pump a little bit up. I think that's good. So now we can take this face and just extrude him up. And we are done. Perfect. Our high poly modeling is nearly done. What we have to do is now to add our bevels. To do that, it's very simple. Just begin by 1. So I'm just beginning by, yeah, let's begin by this here. So go into edit mode, make sure you haven't selected nothing, go to edge select. Now we have a point that's called select sharp edges. You find them under select and select sharp edges. That's important that they are selected. Now I can go to Modifier tab, add modifier, and add a bevel modifier. So now you can just change some settings here. First of all, limit method is weight. Second is amount will be 0.02 and segments are 3. That's the standard I'm using. Now we can go to geometry, Mitte outer, make sharp, make arc, deactivate clamp overlap, go to shading and harden normals on. Now you can open the end panel and under item you have these options here, and under edge data you can just select how much of a bevel do you want. I think that's the right amount, maybe 0.2, or maybe that's a little bit too much, 0.15, and that's good. Alright, now we can select all the stuff you have, but the active selection has to be that one you just created the bevel on. Go to this arrow here and click on copy to select it. You see, now we have just copied to every single object we have this bevel modifier. Alright, now we go through all this stuff. This one has to be just shaded smooth. And you can see under the bevel modifier, enable auto smooth in object data properties to have the best results. So we are going down here and we are going to activate it. Now we can go into edit mode, select sharp edges and do the same thing over and over again to every object you have. In some sort of object you have just to go up a little bit down with the mean bevel weight, because you see we have here too much and you have to find the right spot for that. So I think for this detail here 0.05 is enough. And let me see, maybe we can just go a little bit up with that point up here. Nah, that's good, that's good. So with this little detail we don't need them, so just delete. In here we don't need them too, because these edges aren't visible, so delete the modifier. For now I'm just searching for some errors, but I can't find any for now. It's looking good so far. Make sure you have on here the same amount of bevel, so it's just perfectly matching with the other. So in here, I think we'll go a little bit down with our bevel. So in here in the middle, it's good. Maybe we can just go up. But on this side here, I think we go 0.05. So in here, you see we have a problem with the bevel. It's too much. So we have to go down even further. And you see we have too much problem in here, so we have just to delete some vertices or some edges. But on this area we are good, so I'm just deselecting them. And now we can go on a little bit up. So the pump station is done one side, we have to just do the other side. So to be in the same amount of bevel, you can go through all the objects and see what you have just placed here. So here is 0.05. It's good, that's done. In here we have 0.05. It's good. That's good, that's good. Or maybe we are just, we're going to select them and join them together because they are just details and they're good. So in here we have on this bevel 0.15. So we need here 0.15. And on the edge, I think it was 0.5. Yeah. And in here 0.1. So we haven't any shading problem after all. So this I'm going to join together In here we have 0.1. So then we have this area, 0.05. And now we have this tricky part here. So one edge loop we have to delete, and the other are on 0.02 and 0.01. Okay. We're good here. So I'm going to just take them again. So we have done this area, we have done this area. I'm just searching for this detail so we can just join them together. Same thing here. That's good. And we have this here. Just join them together. All right, now we can go to the house. On the house, you can just begin wherever you want, but you can also go through all the stuff here. So let me see. We can just do one thing. So the big thing is just this whole wood area. So first of all, we can just call it wood high, because that will be our main part of the object. So they select all, select the sharp edges, go to 0.1 just for the beginning, and look how and see how it's looking. Maybe a little bit more for wood. Yeah, that's good. All right. So this beams, I think this beams is gonna be also a big part of the object. So call it wood beam high. And this one I'm going to call wood planks. So we can just texture them separately. Okay, that's good. So this one will be metal parts high. So in here we have first of all to just apply the solidify modifier, and now we can select the parts 0.1 and 0.1. Yeah, 0.1 is enough. All right. So this will be our concrete. On the concrete too, so 0.1, that's enough. And now we have the rest of the stuff. So let me see, we have all right, we have these wood parts here. We have them. I think we can just join them together. So we have this two here. And the other one is going to the beam. Okay, we're going first of all join them together. So I'm going to unhide the wood planks, and now we can just join them. All right, the selection that we got here I'm going to hide, and now we can just select the other parts. 0.1 for now. Yeah, 0.1 is good, so hide. These are some details that we have just to add with the metal parts here. So I'm going to, the metal parts here, I'm going to join them together. So done this, then we have these beams here. This beam is going to be with our wood beam. So join them. But first we have just to do the beveling. So the problem here is we have too much of this wood parts. So I think that will be really a mess after laying the UV map. So we can just take them, maybe separate them again, and for now we have just this this window and this stuff as own objects. This can be an own object. So this can be here. Yeah, you can just select them. Maybe without a door. Yeah. So join them together. So we are going to call them wood frame high, so we know what it is.